Hi, I'm Holly, and with my sister Heather, you're listening to Haunted Family Podcast, a sometimes weekly podcast about the paranormal, unsolved mysteries, and even some true crime.
Can we call ourselves weekly anymore? I mean,
No,
we've kind of...
we are a sporadic podcast about,
In our defense, okay, I'm making straight up excuses now. Holly has a teenage daughter. Okay, 2 teenage daughters. One is semi out of the house.
Well, it's not even that. Honestly, I mean, yes, we got musical going on right now, and that takes up all of our evenings. But that's not even really what's been so bad. It's that my editing program decided that it wanted to shit the bed, and it would take me 15 minutes to make any kind of changes whatsoever. So, like, cutting out an which we say probably 200 million times an episode. I say 200 million times an episode. And it would take me 15 minutes. Literally, I timed it. Before it would just say, not responding. And then it would, and I just can't. Especially after that 3-hour episode that we did. It took me 2 weeks to get it edited.
Yeah.
I just don't have time to deal with that.
And then I got the big idea to do some minor, I'm using air quotes here, remodeling.
What?
Y'all, I'm still climbing over furniture in my hallway.
Yeah.
And then one of my sweet little puppies had to have surgery, unexpected.
She's fine.
She's doing fine now. She has recurrent bladder stones, and our wonderful vet had to go in and clean them out again. And we hope that this time her body doesn't produce them anymore. But so far, nothing we've tried has helped. So she's probably gonna get them again.
Poor sweet baby.
I know.
And I don't know if we were doing the podcast then, but this is the dog that was handed to me outside of a Mexican restaurant like Christmas Eve several years ago.
Yeah, we were totally doing the podcast then.
Okay. Yeah, I just don't know.
Yeah.
It's been so long.
Yeah. It's my sweet little rubella. Yes, I know rubella is a disease. And, well, it's kind of an inside joke with us. I'm probably the only person who finds this funny. Well, I mean, like, everybody else who named her that.
Right.
Ruby is actually her name, but she is just, like, she's infectious. She
in
really
a good
is.
way.
Yeah. So, yeah. Rubella is her nickname. So, let's get on with the show, because we have dilly-dallied, and I could just go on and on about all the different sayings that we've done, but...
Yes. Okay, so... in case you did not read our title...
Which, I mean, why wouldn't you?
Right. I mean, why would you just open up a podcast and just blindly listen to it?
I've actually done that.
I have to. Okay.
Like, Jim Harold's podcast, like, almost all of them, he's got several different podcasts. I pretty much just hit play on them without reading the title.
Okay. We are talking about Chris Watts. The piece of shit that killed his entire family.
And then tried to blame it on his wife.
Yeah. God.
And one of our posts about him is still one of our, like, highest active posts on Instagram.
Which is crazy, because usually once you post something on Instagram, it's,
Yeah.
It
I
gets
actually had
swept
to turn
away.
off comments on it because, like, and I don't do this often. I think this actually might be the only post I've ever turned off comments on. But we were starting to get Chris Watts fans.
Oh, yeah, like the person that said that we were going to feel really stupid when it turns out he was innocent.
Yeah, and, like, the girls who are just, like, so in love with him now. And, oh my God, he's so innocent. And then they were wanting to start fights with other people in the comments, and I couldn't handle the drama. And actually, this week, I had to block somebody on Instagram because of a Chris Watts post.
Really?
Yes. People, I don't block you on our social media very often. But if you threaten physical violence against somebody else in the comments on one of our posts, that's a blocking.
Man, I need to pay attention to our Instagram more.
Be adults. Don't threaten physical violence against people in our comments.
So what you're saying is this is the episode where we get several reviews on iTunes, and they're all negative.
Probably.
Yeah. Which we also don't give a fuck about.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Yeah, I'm looking through the stats on our first Chris Watts post, and like our numbers on Instagram are just like astronomical on it. I mean, like for one of our posts, I'm sure like Kim Kardashian and Kylie Jenner and stuff get way bigger numbers than us, but pretty impressive for one of our posts.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about Chris and him as a person, without going into he's a dirty piece of trash, which, I mean, you kill your whole family. I don't have much respect for you.
And I'm just going to say this right now. I fucking hate his parents. Hate them. If my child killed somebody, I would really hope that I would be like, I don't know what I did to fail them as a parent, that they went off and killed somebody. It was probably hosting that damn podcast.
Emmy would probably say, you know what? If my mom and my Aunt Honey didn't have that podcast, I probably would have turned out normal. She's probably going to be telling her psychologist this sometime.
That's actually what she wants to go to school to be. She'll probably be like telling that to her professors. I became a psychiatrist because my mother made me crazy. But no, seriously, like I hope that if my kids did something, that I would not be the kind of parent to say, they're not a monster. Really, it was her fault that he killed them all. Let's start at the murder, and then we'll move around from there, because that's really kind of the hinge.
And that's really how we do things. We just hop, skip, and jump.
Yeah, there's no rhyme or reason. Okay, so morning of August 13th, she comes home. She sells, is it Thrive? What is that?
Yeah, she's I don't really consider multi-level marketing real business, but I mean, I know people make money at it, so it is an actual business.
I don't know. Listen, if you're interested in learning more about multi-level marketing and the scam that it is, as soon as you're done listening to this episode, go listen to The Dream, which is also a podcast. And they talk all about the scam that is MLMs.
If you're part of one, don't send us hate mail, because we won't read it.
No, we won't. But I sold 31, not that I was trying to make money on 31, but for $100, you get more than $100 worth of product to sell.
I still use a lot of those bags.
And I loved my 31 stuff. But, I mean, you could really get most of that stuff from Walmart. Not the patterns, but you could get most of the styles at Walmart for cheaper than you would with 31. Not that I've made anything, but I really liked the bags. But anyway, completely off topic. So she sells Thrive. Yeah. And she and a friend were on a trip. And the friend dropped her off about 1:30, 1:45 in the morning. And there's a super nice video where the friend waits until she gets in the house before she drives away, because she wanted to make sure that she was safe.
Because they had a doorbell cam.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, honestly, if you don't have a doorbell cam, you need one.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I'm feeling the shade.
That is directed at you, Holly.
I know. So, anyway, she comes in and goes to bed. He's already in bed. The kids are there. And he says in his jailhouse confession that she comes in, they have sex, and then they doze off for a little while. And then when he wakes up to go to work, he straddles her. She thinks that they're going to have sex again. And he's telling her that he wants to leave, and then strangles her to death. As he's wrapping her in their sheet, their 4-year-old daughter Bella comes in and asks what's wrong with Mom. And he says she's just not feeling well. Bella watches him drag her down the stairs.
Yeah, because I know when I'm not feeling well, Anthony always drags me out of the house, wrapped in the sheet.
I'm not laughing because I'm laughing at the visual of Anthony dragging you down the stairs, not at.
Listen, sometimes when I have vertigo, he literally has. Sometimes when I have vertigo, he literally has to pick me up and carry me while I'm throwing up, and I'm sure that he wishes that he could drag me.
I want to call him Scott because this is such a Scott Peterson shit that he did.
Yeah, you know, this honestly. This whole case reminds me so much of that. Only there were a lot more babies involved.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so he drags her, sticks her in the back of his truck, like in the back seat of his truck.
I think he drove like, what was it, 2000? I had it wrote down somewhere. I want to say it was like a 2012 F-250 or something like that.
I don't know.
That doesn't matter.
It does.
It was a big truck.
So he puts Bella, who's 4, and Celeste, who's 3, in the back seat of his truck with their dead mom wrapped up at their feet, and drives 45 minutes to his job site. In front of Bella, strangles her sister, and then takes her out of the car, dumps her in an oil vat, and then comes back for Bella.
Because he worked at Anadarko Petroleum in Colorado, which is a big oil company in Colorado.
Yeah.
I guess that's pretty self-explanatory about petroleum.
Yeah. So he then takes his wife out of the truck and buries her in a very shallow grave. I don't know what he's thinking, that somebody is not going to find his 15-week pregnant wife very shallowly buried. And
why would you dispose of bodies
at your work?
Of your family at your work?
No clue. And I mean, especially he dropped the babies in an oil vat. I mean, did he think that they wouldn't ever be noticed? I don't know. So
he did a lot of stupid things, but this was definitely one of the top ones.
Oh yeah. Okay, so he then goes to work. And I guess acts like everything is fine. He has a girlfriend who also works there.
Of course he has a girlfriend.
Well, yeah, because why else would he kill his wife and kids other than he needs to get out of a marriage so that he can be with a girlfriend? He started seeing this girl. And, I guess it all started innocently enough, as affairs often do, where he's upset that his wife is pregnant and they are in some serious financial trouble. They've got a 5-bedroom house in Frederick, Colorado. That's a hell of a commute.
Yes, I can see why they were in financial trouble if they were commuting from Frederick, Maryland. Frederick, Maryland is a lovely town, though. I've been there a few times.
So they live in Frederick, Colorado, and they've got a 5-bedroom house.
They purchased in 2013, and they filed for bankruptcy in 2015.
Yeah, and apparently all their credit cards were maxed out, and
I kind of wonder if they were in such financial trouble. One, because they bit off more house than they could chew, which a lot of people do.
Yeah.
But also because of her selling Thrive.
Yeah, if you listen to the dream, that's common.
No one has mentioned this in any reports I've read, but I know from people I know that have gotten into MLM situations, and from just reading the news, especially with a lot of women who had to file bankruptcy because of LuLaRoe, that it's very easy to, really sink your whole life into these companies and put yourself in a bad financial situation. But it doesn't matter, because being in debt is no excuse to kill your family.
Exactly.
Lots of people find themselves in debt and they work their way out of it.
Listen to the dream when you are done listening to this episode, please. You will thank me. And I guess the people at the dream will thank me too for sending them listeners. Yeah. But so they were in debt, seriously in debt, and she had just announced that they were having a boy. So he starts, I guess, talking to this girl at work, and she worked in the office, and he was there a lot, like actually in the office, not in the field, and they just started flirting, and she thought he was cute, and he told her, she says that he told her that he was in the final stages of a divorce. He says that that's not the truth, that he knew that he was married because he saw pictures of his wife on the lock screen of his phone. Now, when she handed her phone over to police, they had a forensic person go through her search history, and she had done Google searches for men leaving their wives for their mistress, and I'm trying to think just other searches
that led them to believe that she was not being
that she was not being completely
as honest as she should have been.
Yeah, like she also searched for and asked the police in her interview, do people generally hate the mistress? And did people hate Amber Fry? Amber Fry,
I think she actually searched for, did people hate Amber Fry?
Yeah.
Which, if you remember, absolutely yes.
Yeah, Amber Fry was Scott Peterson's mistress. In no time in history have we ever had a situation where a man was cheating on his wife and it comes out in the media and people ever take the mistress's side. Ever. I don't think that it's ever happened. People hated Amber Fry, and she had nothing to do with Lacey's murder.
Man, people hated Monica Lewinsky, and, no one even got murdered in that situation.
So, if you are a mistress, please just walk away before somebody gets murdered and everybody hates you and you have to end up in witness protection like this Nicole person. So, yeah, Nicole Kissinger, Chris Watts' mistress's name, she, after all of this, went into the witness protection and changed her name and everything because she thought that she was the most hated woman in America.
When in reality, it would have all blown over as far as her part, it would have all blown over in a couple years.
Oh, yeah. Poor Monica is still always going to be the butt of every joke.
But hers was on a much grander scale because it was the president.
Yeah. Don't have an affair with the president.
I think with Amber Fry, the fact that she lawyered up and made the TV rounds really did not help her.
Yeah.
I don't think any of that was really necessary on her part.
Well, she had to cash in on her 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah. But, I mean, I think in this girl's case, if she had just done what she needed to do as far as the law enforcement standpoint, the court standpoint, and then just laid low.
Yeah. Nicole Kissinger said that Chris acted completely fine on Monday, although he did mention that Shannan was going to take the kids to the park, but she never returned home, and he couldn't get a hold of her. He told her this because Shannan's friend, also named Nicole, had been contacting him all day because she had missed a scheduled OBGYN appointment and she wasn't returning text messages, and that was completely unlike her. So her friend went to the house at about noon, and when she didn't answer, that's when she called in. She called Chris and told him that she was going to call in a welfare check, and he said, no, you don't have to call the police. Which, what a great friend this girl is, because she did not listen to him.
She is the friend that every woman needs.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to move to Colorado so she can be my friend. So she called in the welfare check, and Chris left work and drove home, and he got there like right when the police were there. And you can actually watch this interaction. There's a YouTube video from the body cam of Chris, and he's not doing himself any favors.
I knew from the first interview I saw with him on TV that he had done something.
Yeah.
Because his body language was telling.
So he tried to stage it as if she ran off, only her purse, her phone, her wedding ring, and her keys were inside, and the car seats for the kids. You can't really run away.
She probably would have left her ring if she had ran off, but no woman is leaving her purse. No woman is leaving her purse behind.
Right. But I mean, her car was still there and the car keys. So how was she going to flee with the kids on foot? Yeah. So the FBI...
Not a smart man. No. Not making smart decisions.
So the FBI and the Colorado Bureau of Investigation came into the mix the next day, and he gave an interview to the TV station where he was pleading for his family's safe return.
Standing outside their house.
Standing outside the house.
The episode. This was the interview where most people was like, huh? Because he was giving off weird vibes.
Yeah. So he goes in the next day, August 15th, for a polygraph test, which he failed.
He bombs it.
Yeah. So he realizes he bombs it, and that's when he confesses to murdering her. But he walked in and saw her strangling those babies, and he went into a rage and killed her. Yeah. The hell. And I can't believe that anybody, even for a second, believed that.
Now, Holly, let's just say that I walk into your house and I see you strangling Emmy to death.
Well, she's bigger than me, so that's not going to happen.
She is. And she's probably like, well, I mean, she gave me the black eye, so I know that she's mean. Like, y'all, she gave me a black eye when she was like 3. Because I was trying to tickle her. Girl's strong.
Yeah.
But no, like, if I walked in and you were strangling Emmy to death, I mean, yeah, I'd kill you. But then I'd call 911 and I would wait. And I'd be like, y'all.
Well,
she was straight up murdering my favorite niece.
He's a dumbass.
And Abby's going to listen to this and be like, I thought I was your favorite niece. Y'all are both my favorite nieces.
Yeah. So on the 15th, he gets arrested.
And charged with murder. His employer fires him. Like, of course.
Well, I mean, yeah.
That's a no-brainer.
They find the body the next day on August 16th.
Yeah. He gets charged with 5 counts of first-degree murder for Shannan, Bella, Celeste, and 15-week-old
Baby Nico.
fetus Nico. He also gets charged with unlawful termination of a pregnancy for baby Nico and 3 counts of tampering with a deceased human body.
So everybody who kind of knew him says that he was such a mild-mannered person and that Shannan was definitely the stronger person and the more outgoing person in the relationship. That she was the organizer, she was the planner, she was the go-getter, and he would just kind of go along with the flow.
Well, of course she was. She was the mom.
I know. Yeah. When I was reading that, I was like, I mean, yeah, when I was married, that was me too. Like, moms generally have so much more responsibility.
I mean, and this is nothing against dads.
No, it's
because
just
there
like,
are some dads who, like, literally are, you know, the planners. But in most cases that I've witnessed,
men go to work and they come home and they sit on the couch and they're tired. And women take care of the kids. They cook, they clean, they plan, they organize. You miss something, you ask mom where it's at. And in a lot of cases, not all, but in a lot of cases, men get off scot-free and don't have to step up their game. And that's not in all relationships, but it definitely was the case in this one. And it was apparently also the case in his parents' relationship. That his mother was the stronger parent. I don't even know how to properly word that in a way that doesn't sound awful, but that's what I'm trying to say. The women were
the manager.
Exactly. They ran the household. And he told people that he said that's what he liked about Nicole, is that she let him be him, which means what? He could make some decisions because she was even less, I don't even know the right word. She was more laid back about everything than him. Before all of this happened, like, I think their relationship really got to flourish in July, so the month before the murder, because Shannan took the kids to North Carolina to visit everybody's families.
That's where both of them are from.
Both of them are from there. And she was at his parents' house before she arrived. She told her mother-in-law that Celeste has serious tree nut allergies, and she gave her a list of tree nuts and gave her a list of products that contain tree nuts, and told her what Celeste can have. Well, this woman, who is, I think this is why I hate her so much, is that she reminds me so much of my second mother-in-law, and I hate that woman with a passion. But anyway, so Shannan's mother-in-law has a bag of pistachios in the house, and Shannan is like, Celeste cannot be around this, and she removes it.
Yeah, because for some kids who have serious nut allergies, even the dust from them can cause a reaction. I have a friend whose son has serious food allergies, and like the other day he had a reaction that put him in the hospital because of cross-contamination at the gym. He was in the playroom at the gym while she was working out, and kids had residue on their hands from not properly washing their hands, and that sent him to the hospital.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a food allergy, but Emmy is so allergic to horses that at one time she was around a blanket that had been in the house of somebody who rode their horses regularly. And she wasn't even at their house. Like, they just brought that blanket with them and she sat on it. The blanket had never been on the horse. The blanket had just been around the people after they had been on the horse, and not even that day. And she had a reaction that I thought we were going to have to take her to the emergency room. Like, she head to toe hives and her eyes started swelling shut, and thankfully Benadryl calmed it, but sheesh, that was terrifying. And I didn't even think to ask, because there was no horses there. I didn't think to ask, hey, has any of your belongings been near you while you were possibly near your horses? So I can only imagine, like, if she had a food allergy that severe, I'd be a wreck. So the mother-in-law had given one of the other grandchildren a bowl of ice cream that had nuts in it. And Celeste, keep in mind, is 3 years old, was upset because she couldn't have the ice cream. And it was being eaten right beside her. And the mother-in-law said that she needed to learn, that Celeste needed to learn that she can't always have everything she wants. Oh my God. Reading that, I went into blind freaking rage. I don't know how Shannan did not just punch the woman in the face. You do not tell a 3-year-old that she needs to get over it and she can't have the ice cream that her cousin is having. No, you remove what she can't have. As she gets older, she will understand. But at 3 years old, no. I'm sorry.
Do you remember when
putting on my child development cap?
Do you remember when Maggie was first diagnosed with diabetes and we used to hide in another room at family gatherings to eat candy that she couldn't have so that she wouldn't feel left out?
Yeah, because she was diagnosed at 3 with type 1 diabetes, so we didn't want her to feel left out. So if we were at Christmas or Thanksgiving, we would hide anything that she couldn't have so that, you know, she didn't have to feel bad. But I mean, you know, now she's in her 20s and she takes care of herself, and we eat all the candy we want to in front of her.
Yeah, and she'll have what she wants in moderation and dose appropriately. But, you know, we made sure that when she was little that she wasn't feeling like she was being left out because she had this disorder that prevented her from eating certain things.
I mean, we must have done a good job because now she has a master's degree in dietetics and she's a counselor for people with diabetes. So something good must have come of that.
Yeah, I'm super proud of her.
Me too.
Not super proud of this grandma who was doing a crap job of being a grandma.
No, but I mean, this so reminds me. I know that people listening do not know my second mother-in-law. I was only married to this guy for 8 months, and I'm sure that I'm going to get hate letters from people who know him and her. But
the divorce took longer than the marriage lasted.
But this is the kind of shit that she would have done to my kids. And I just, no. You are fair to all kids in your house. You definitely don't tease another one with something that they can't have. It's just wrong. And the fact that it came from a grandmother just makes it I don't know, it just makes it all the more anger inducing.
Well, clearly his parents were not, and I'm just going to say this, I don't think they were good people to start with. I think that they are selfish people, and I think they ended up raising a selfish son.
True.
Just from things that I've read. Because things like that story does not illustrate a woman who is very fair and who is very compassionate.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying that everyone who goes on and murders their families were raised by cold, uncaring parents. We know that's not the case, but I mean, in this case,
right? I mean, I don't.
I think that in some parts, his mom, his home life helped guide him to be a little.
Well, I think that he was a weak person. Hated confrontation. Hated. I don't know. Got to a point where he
not
hated,
getting exactly what he wanted.
Yeah, like he hated the fact that he couldn't just walk out on this marriage and not have to pay child support, not have to, he couldn't just pretend that Shannan and the kids didn't exist so that he could be with this other woman. Well, how could he do that?
Well, maybe he should learn that lesson from his mom, that you don't always get what you want in life.
Because you should have taught her kid that too.
That life is like that bowl of ice cream with nuts in it. Oh, I'm sorry. He makes me so angry.
They all make me angry.
And I think he makes me angry mostly because I know men like him that are weak and selfish, and they want to take the easier way out instead of, really just facing their issues. And you know exactly who I'm talking about in some regards.
Yeah.
I think one of the most heartbreaking parts of this whole story is one of the things that just came out recently. Christopher Watts said in his jailhouse interviews that while he was killing Bella, she was actually begging him not to, saying, "Daddy, no."
And he didn't care. What a fucking piece of shit. Like,
I mean, how can you do that? I mean,
how can you defend somebody who does that? There is no justification whatsoever.
But killing your child, just seems like on a whole nother level to me. And I don't even have children.
I love, and I'm being sarcastic, I love how he was wearing that shirt and all of the pictures of,
I think it's actually in one of the pictures we used on Instagram.
Bring my child back home, whatever. It was like, this guy loves his kids or something like that. And I'm like, are you?
Oh, I'm a proud dad.
That's it. I'm a proud dad. I'm like, really?
That was in our first Instagram post about him.
I don't know. This episode just makes me so full of rage.
Could you ever have murdered one of the girls?
No.
Have they ever brought you to a point? Have you ever been to a point in your life where you could have wrapped your hands around their necks? And I'm kind of chuckling because both girls are bigger than her.
No. I mean, never in their lives have I ever been angry. I mean, honestly, I raised kids I want to hang out with. So, never. I've been disappointed in them at times, but I've never been angry at them.
Oh my God. And telling Abby that you're disappointed in her is like the most devastating thing in her world.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I've been disappointed, and I've told them that they've made some bad choices at times, but never have I been angry at anything that they've ever done. And I don't know, even at the darkest of times, when you're ready to say I need a divorce, And even like right before the divorce is final, because I don't know why, but it always seems like right before the divorce is final, shit gets crazy. But even during those times, I never thought it would be so much easier if I just killed this person. Or never did I think, I hate this person so much, I should just kill them. It just didn't cross my mind that would be a better way to get out. And I mean, especially when Shannan didn't do anything, and she was trying to work on their marriage, and sent him self-help books on trying to save their marriage. But he didn't want to save the marriage.
Because he had already emotionally checked out.
Yep. He was already...
He may have never even been emotionally checked in.
Well, that's true. I mean, his forensic phone search thing turned up that he was Googling things like, when should you tell somebody that you love them for the first time? And guys, this is a couple that were only together maybe 2 months.
If you have to Google that, then you don't really love that person.
True.
I'm just going to leave you all with that truth bomb right there. If you have to Google that, then you don't love that person.
And they're definitely not worth killing for.
Is anybody really worth killing for? Like, in that level?
No. I mean, would I kill for my kids? Yes. Well, yeah, I would. Like, if somebody hurt them...
But, like, have you ever dated somebody and been like, yeah, I love you enough that I'm going to murder for you?
No. No.
Yeah, buddy, I'm going to murder for you. No.
That's how I'm going to know if I should get married again, is if I look at that person and I think, yeah, I would do some consecutive life sentences for you.
And I don't want people to think that we're downplaying this. I'm just like, I cannot wrap my mind around how murdering your whole family is the easier way out.
I don't know how he thought that he was going to murder his family, dump them at his job site, and everything was going to be fine.
I mean, and that's why usually in family annihilation killings like this, the perpetrator commits suicide.
Oh no, Scott Peterson didn't.
He didn't. And these two are really anomalies, because usually they do.
But at least, I mean, Scott was at least a little bit smarter. I mean, like, he tried to cover his tracks. He just did it badly.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris was such an idiot. He dumped them at his job site. I mean, it's a good thing. I mean, at least the bodies were able to be recovered and they got to be buried. But, God.
Yeah, they were buried in North Carolina, where they're from.
So, the outcome for him. First degree murder. He was sentenced to 5 life sentences without the possibility of parole. 3 to be served consecutively, and 2 to be served concurrently.
So he's never getting out.
Never.
He took this plea deal to avoid the death penalty,
which I think would be good for him.
And Shannan's family did not want the death penalty either. They did not want any further deaths.
They seem like good people. I'm glad that they didn't have to. I mean, yes, they have had to listen to this piece of shit tell in detail what he did to their daughter and grandkids.
And their grandkids.
But at least they didn't have to be subjected to a trial where people were trying to muddy her name.
Yeah. You know, I have to say that if something like this had happened to you and the girls, I probably would have gotten into a brawl in the courthouse with, your ex's family. If they were sitting there like his family has been.
Yeah.
I understand wanting to support your family member, but there comes a time when you just have to say, yeah, they did a really bad thing.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, neither of my ex-husbands were the type of people to murder anybody. So, got off the hook on that one. But I don't know.
On December 3rd, Chris Watts was actually moved out of Colorado to another prison because of security concerns.
Yeah, he's not well liked.
He was moved to the Dodge Correctional Institute in Wisconsin. Because, he is not. He's not liked.
You would think that they would move him close to North Carolina so his family could visit him, though.
The prison system actually likes to try to keep people away from their families, so it makes it a little. They like to kind of punish the families too.
Well, I think his family needs it.
But Dodge Correctional Institute is actually the prison where, and of course my computer would lock up, where Ed Gein was imprisoned.
So they're used
until he was moved to the Mendota Mental Health Institute where he died.
I did not know that. So there is a petition. You and I were talking about this before we hit record. Chris Watts is back in the news because there is a petition to have him remove his family's pictures from his cell.
Yeah. It's on change.org if anyone is interested.
I will put the link in our show notes. The petition states that it's the equivalent of keeping a trophy of your victims because they're his victims. And the prison system doesn't allow prisoners to keep trophies of their victims. So there are some people who think that he should have to look at his family so that he feels badly for his actions, but honestly I don't think that. I feel like he thinks of it as a trophy. I don't think he feels bad.
Yeah. I'm trying to pull up the petition so I can see how many current signatures it has. It is currently at 4,500 and growing. I'm watching the numbers tick up. So, yeah. That's all I can say, really, is that he makes me angry.
Yeah, I have nothing good to say about him.
In her way of thinking, they were building this great life together, and here he had this other whole life that she didn't know about. And that other life is what got her killed. But don't think about it. He probably had this whole, fantasy in his mind about how things were going to be once he just got rid of her and the kids. They were what was holding him back. They were the real debt around his neck. That might be just me speculating, but
maybe.
But it takes something to, get you to that point to actually not just murder one person, but murder your whole family. You don't do that on a whim.
No. I don't know. He says that, when he straddled her so that they could talk about things, that he just snapped and killed her. But really,
that's not how I have deep conversations with people.
Me either. And I usually don't have sex with them first either.
I mean, especially not if it's going to be one of those serious bad, I'm breaking up with you conversations.
Right. Yeah, I usually don't lead off. This is it for us.
I mean, I've not broken up with too many people in my life, but...
Oh, okay. I need something funny because I can't stand this guy.
Let's see. It has been a really good week for stupid criminals.
It has.
So how about we do 2?
Okay.
The first one is so good it should be from Florida, but it's not. It's from Arkansas.
Okay.
50-year-old Charles Ferris and 36-year-old Christopher Hicks were arrested on Monday. And the police affidavit states that the 2 men, who are neighbors, were drinking on Sunday when Ferris told Hicks to shoot him with a .22 caliber rifle while Ferris wore a bulletproof vest. Hicks then put the vest on, and Ferris unloaded the clip into his back, causing bruises but no serious injuries. So yeah, they got arrested for that. I think it's all in good fun. I mean, it's also dangerous, and you shouldn't do that.
No, you should
and
not.
Also, don't drink and play with guns.
Please don't drink and play with guns.
Yeah. And our second one is from the good old state of Kentucky.
Oh, I love Kentucky stupid criminals.
Police in Richmond arrested an Estill County man after they received reports that he was barefoot dancing on top of cars in the Walmart parking lot.
Yeah, and that's typical night at Walmart.
I mean, I've done that at least 3 times this week. No.
I mean, I was just at Walmart today, and I was doing that.
Is that why you almost got jumped?
No, actually, I was not dancing on a car at Walmart. But, yes, I almost got in a throwdown in the Walmart parking lot today. So I was putting my cart back because I am not a monster, and I put my cart back. And I was walking from my car across the street, not across the street, but across the aisle to the corral. And this car, not even parking because the lane, it was like almost completely empty, the parking lot was. So they turned down, and I don't know what they were doing because they weren't parking and they weren't parked and pulled out. They were just cutting through in a hurry, and they honked their horn at me, and I'm an asshole, so I ignored them and I continued to walk. I was probably 5 feet from this corral, so it's not like, you know, I was walking down in the middle of the road or anything. And so they continued to lay on their horn the whole entire time I was walking to put my cart up. So I pushed my cart in, and they stopped right behind me, and I turned around and I called them. I'm not going to repeat on the podcast because it's actually worse than some of the things I say on this podcast. So let's just say I called them a name, and they put their car in park. And keep in mind, it's like 3 guys and a girl in this little car. And I just stand there and I'm like, are you going to get out? There's literally security cameras all over this damn building. And the girl in the back seat, I guess, gets some reasoning, and she shouts at the guy to go. So they go, and I get back in my car and I leave. And I'm just like, you guys are fucking stupid. So I leave. And
surprisingly, that's not the first almost fight Holly's gotten into in Walmart.
No, it is not. So I guess stupid criminal was me today.
Yes, you are a stupid criminal. When they talked to Jeffrey Smith, 55, of Ravenna, he said that he was dancing at the parking lot for no reason. He showed signs of slurred speech and was unsteady on his bare feet. So they questioned him further. He said he's just taking his usual prescriptions and nothing more. He was arrested, charged with public intoxication. When he got to the jail, police noticed that he had crystal methamphetamine in his pocket. I guess that was his usual prescription for the day. And so they also tacked on possession of meth and promoting contraband.
Nice. In his defense, though, the weather has been great the last couple days.
So it is. If you live in Kentucky, get out and celebrate. Now, I was going to have this one guy, this YouTuber, as our stupid criminal for the week, but I thought it was a little bit much. There was this guy over in West Virginia who makes YouTube videos. He's got a decent sized channel, 10,000 followers.
I
mean, that's like astronomical compared to mine, not even 100 yet.
Or mine, I don't even have a video up yet, but I will have a video up by the time this episode airs, so you guys can check that out too.
Anyway, he basically does like car videos and like driving and stuff. He was live streaming driving 180 miles an hour over a dam.
And he was surprised when he got pulled over.
Yeah, someone ratted him out. Someone called the cops on him. So, I mean, like, yeah, technically he's a stupid criminal because you shouldn't live stream breaking the law. But, I mean, is there anything else to do in West Virginia other than drive fast around dams?
I don't think so.
Yes, I know that there is, people. Don't call in and harass me.
They can't call in. We don't have phones.
Oh, yeah, that's right. No, but I kind of cracked up laughing because the cops who pulled him over, bless their hearts, they did not seem like the brightest bulbs in the box. They were questioning him about if he was on anything. And he said, well, you know, I took I think it was Adderall or something. And one of the cops said, well, do you think you should be taking that and driving? He's like, well, I mean, I take it twice a day. How would I get around otherwise? And I'm just sitting here as somebody with, you know, ADHD myself. I don't take medication for it, but I'm like, I mean, if he actually has ADHD, it should make him focus better on the road, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's how that works. But, I mean, yeah. Sometimes cops are not the brightest bulbs in the box. Sometimes people are not the brightest bulbs in the box either. It happens. It was late. Cop probably needed more coffee or something.
I'm sure.
Hopefully he got back in his car and was like, oh man, I shouldn't have said that. That went out live over the internets.
Internets.
Yeah, internets.
It's plural.
But yeah, that's our stupid criminals for the night. So the West Virginia guy is not our stupid criminal, but I just thought it was really funny. So for the record, you probably shouldn't live stream breaking the law.
Breaking the law. Breaking the law.
Yeah, it's just not smart usually. Things happen. People decide to rat you out.
Yeah.
Then the cops show up at your house and...
Nothing good comes of it. Nothing good comes from killing your family either.
Yeah, because then you go to prison. And I would say the prison is probably not fun.
I would say not. It doesn't seem like a kind of place. Okay, so... check out my Etsy shop, Cat Hair and Glitter. Just Cat Hair Glitter. And I have a new shop that's got kind of more, it's more geared towards moms. So there's like mom stuff. There's like cutesy decorative pillows, mugs, that kind of thing. And it is Olivia Beth Boutique. Also on Etsy. And Crafting with Holly YouTube channel will be up this week. Our Haunted Family Podcast YouTube channel. And is that it? Is that all we got going on? I feel like that's a lot.
It is a lot.
Yeah. So anyway, check us out in all of those locations. And I think that's it. Anyway, thanks for listening.